Hi, I'm Georgia from GetSite Control, and in this video I'll show you how to add a countdown timer to your Shopify store for free. For this tutorial, I'll use the GSC Countdown Timer app. It's free and you can find it in the Shopify App Store. I'll leave a link to it in the video description below. The app allows you to create 3 types of timers. A small timer you can display as a block within a section, for example, on your cart or product page. A timer bar you can display at the top or bottom of the web page anywhere on your store. And a large timer you can display as a full section on your store, for example, on the home page or a collection page. I'll now show you how to set up and customize a large timer banner just like this one for your store's homepage. We are now in the GSC Countdown Timer app dashboard. We are now going to create a new widget. We're going to select large as we need a large timer banner for our homepage. And from the General tab, we're going to select a preset. The preset is going to be the base for our timer. Here at the bottom, we're going to select 3 fonts that we can then apply to the different text elements. As you can see, I'm using the theme font for part of the text. You're not going to be able to see your theme font in the timer preview. You can see that in your theme editor once you add the timer to it in the theme preview or in your live store. Let's now move on to the Content tab. I'll now open the first text element and enter my own text here. I'm going to select the 3rd font for this element, and I'm going to adjust the font case and desktop and mobile font size. This is what it looks like on desktop, and here is the mobile view. Now I'm going to change the color of this text element and move on to the next text element. I'm going to enter my own text here again. And as I did for the previous element, I'm going to adjust the font size and color. This is what it looks like on desktop, and here is the mobile view again. Now let's adjust the timer appearance. I'm going to adjust the desktop width, the font size for the digits, for the labels, the font color for digits and labels. Here is the result on desktop and on mobile. And here at the bottom, you can adjust the spacing, the desktop paddings, and margins, and the same for mobile. I haven't touched them. I'm going to keep the default settings, but you can adjust this if you don't like how it looks. Let's move on to the button. Here you can write your own label and enter the link that the button is supposed to open. Now I'm just going to slightly adjust its appearance. I have adjusted the font weight and the color of the button text and border. And now I would like to show you the difference between paddings and margins. The padding is the space between the text of the element and its border. So this space right here. So if I increase it, this is what it looks like. I would actually like to decrease it a little bit on desktop. The margin is the space around the border. So if I increase it, this is where more space is going to appear. Okay, let's now go back to the content settings. I'm going to increase the desktop width and reduce the desktop spacing here. I'm going to reduce the mobile spacing as well. Let's now go to the mobile view. because I would like to adjust the spacing settings by removing all the paddings. And here is the final result on mobile. Let's move on to the background of the timer banner. From here, I'm going to upload my own image. I'm going to reduce the desktop height and the overlay opacity. And this is what it looks like on mobile. Now let's go over to the timer settings. You can choose between a fixed date timer, which will count down to a date and time of your choosing, and an evergreen timer, which will start when the visitor lands on your store and sees the timer and will count down for the amount of time that you set here. For this example, I'm going to choose a fixed date timer that ends the day after tomorrow, just before midnight. At this point, you can choose what happens when the timer ends. You can do nothing and keep displaying the expired timer, or hide the timer, which is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to save the changes and copy my timer ID, which I will need to add the timer to my store. Now let's head over to the theme editor. I have already opened my current theme pack. Now what I'm going to do is add an app block where I want my timer to be. In my case, it's going to be here. I'm going to go to apps and choose the timer widget. Here is my widget, and now I'm going to paste the timer ID that I have copied earlier. And just like that, here is my timer. Now I'm going to save the changes. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on mobile. Here is my timer and what it looks like on a full screen. Here it is. And now my setup is complete. Keep in mind that many Shopify themes offer countdown timers as a built-in feature, like the Aurora theme. So, if you are in the market for a new theme, it makes sense to choose one with a timer. This way, you don't have to worry about installing additional apps. Here's what the Aurora theme looks like. This is one of the theme's demo stores, and here are some of the built-in timer options. You can display timer banners on your homepage. You can have a timer block on your product page or on the cart page. And you can even display pop-up timers on any page of your store. And that's it. That concludes my tutorial. Now go add countdown timers to your store and watch your conversions grow.